Well, Sunday marks the start of our region's premier winter event, the John Beargrease Sled Dog Marathon. The longest sled dog marathon in the lower 48 states begins Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at Billy's Bar on West Tisher Road and finishes 300 miles later in Grand Portage. This year's field is packed with experienced mushers and features several past winners. Well, joining us now with more is Kirk Weber, president of the board of the John Beargrease Sled Dog Marathon. And Jason Rice is a former musher, and this year will be commenting on the race for the North Public Radio Station. Welcome. Thanks to both of you for being here. Exciting weekend for both of you, I imagine.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
I'm glad I'm in my shoes and not his this weekend.
So what are the trail conditions heading into the race this weekend?
Last trail report I heard is the trail is shaping up beautifully. We've got some good recent snow up here in the north. Temperatures have been great, so the trail is really firming up, and so I anticipate with the weather condition that I've seen, we're going to have a fast race. It's going to be a really exciting race with just a stacked field. It's going to be a good race this year, so I'm excited.
How many teams are going to be competing in the main marathon this year?
In the main marathon, I think we have 25 teams registered right now.
And then what about the other races? Because it seems like you've got a couple other races where people who are interested in mushing but may not want to commit to the full marathon can take part in the sport.
Right, so we have our mid-distance or our 120, which serves both as a kind of a stepping stone up to the marathon, or for some of those smaller kennels. Running a 300-mile race takes a lot of dogs and a lot of time. And then we have for those who are just maybe getting new into mushing or maybe transitioning out of the sport, we have the 40-mile race that runs from Duluth to Two Harbors.
So Jason, you are a musher yourself, and you're going to be commenting on the race this year. As you look at the field, how competitive is the field this year?
Extremely. I would say this year, out of all the years I've been involved in the Beargrease in one form or fashion or another since the mid-90s, and I would say that this year is about as stacked up as far as the competition level goes. I mean, you've obviously got Ryan Reddington and then Aaron Letzring, last year's champion. They finished only 7 seconds apart. But then, wait a minute, there's a whole cast of characters just outside of them. Let's not just focus on them. Wade Mars, coming down from Alaska, having made the move down here last fall with his wife, he's going to probably do something that we haven't seen the Alaskans typically do. Usually the Alaskans come down and they're used to long runs, very flat, very brutal wind and weather conditions, but they're not used to the repetition of the hills over and over and over like we have with the North Shore's Sawtooth Mountains. So the way I always described it when I was in his shoes as president of the Beargrease, it's like going up and down Spirit Mountain. Imagine running your team up and down Spirit Mountain 25 times. That's about the elevation change. It's somewhere around 37,000 feet of elevation change from start to finish of the Beargrease. So it's really a crazy amount of up and down, and usually the Alaskans are not quite ready for that type of contour of the race course. I think Wade, though, having come down last fall, training with his good friend Ryan Reddington and getting used to this trail, I think he's going to realize that this is not the Iditarod, and this is going to be get off the sled, run up the hill with your dogs, and then catch your breath, and then get ready, because in about 60 seconds you're going to do it again. He's probably a little ahead of the curve on his learning. So I would say with him finishing 4th in the Iditarod last year, this is somebody who definitely, if he's adjusted his game to this terrain, he will be right up there with Ryan and Aaron. But then right outside of that, you've got two-time champion Blake Frecking, always, and his wife Jen. You've got 4-time champion Nathan Schroeder. You've got 2-time champion Ryan Anderson. This is really stacked up. And then some new faces coming from Canada who are highly competitive mushers. This is really going to be tough to tell. It's a dog race.
So with this kind of a field and fast conditions like you're anticipating, do you expect that it might be another finish like last year where people are coming in right at the same time?
I think we're going to have a tight finish. To be 7 seconds over a 300-mile race is pretty unusual. But I think we're going to have a lot of teams stacked up there in Mineral Center and it all comes down to how have they run their team, how have they rested their team, who can stay healthy. You know, it's early in the season. Who has the miles on their team at this point that they can stay healthy and have a good team of 8 to 10 dogs when they get into Mineral Center to make that last hard, fast push into the finish.
It's interesting looking at the field. Almost half of the mushers are women, and it seems like this is really a sport where men and women can compete head to head.
Absolutely. They're on even footing. And many times, I would say, since every pound counts, and typically a lot of our female mushers physically are more petite. I'm a smaller guy, so I think I had an advantage sometimes when I was out there. If you're pulling somebody who's 250 pounds versus 150 pounds, over the course of 300 miles, if it slows the dogs down a quarter of a mile an hour, but it does that over 300 miles, you're talking about a couple of hour lead. So really, I think that in some cases, women are showing that they do have an advantage sometimes.
We mentioned in the headlines that COVID has been a big concern up in this area.
Yes.
Are there any special precautions that are taking place or protocols that have been instituted because of COVID with the mushers or the handlers or the spectators?
So we'll be following the guidelines and best practices of the CDC and Minnesota Department of Health. We'll be requiring masking for any event inside by all participants. We're encouraging, obviously, social distancing and masking is encouraged when outdoors, but we're on the trail. As you know, last year we were one of the few races in the lower 48 that was able to happen. We successfully ran a race last year right in the height of the pandemic with 0 recorded transmissions. So we take it very, very serious with masking, social distancing, and all those precautions, and we'll continue to monitor the situation throughout the race.
What about spectators? Where are some of the best places for people to kind of get an up close and personal look at the mushers, at the dogs, maybe along the way?
So if you want to come and just see dogs and maybe interact with some of the mushers and ask some questions, Saturday down at the County Fairgrounds in Proctor, thank you. In Proctor, we'll have our vet checks, and those go from, I believe our first time is 8 a.m. up until about 1 o'clock. Teams will come in, all the dogs will be checked by the vets to make sure that they're healthy and ready to run the race. And spectators can come and kind of walk about the teams and see them. That's probably the best time. And then also at Billy's, the start, you can watch the teams get hooked up and ready to go. But it's game time. I mean, these are athletes. These are world-class athletes getting ready to race. So the dogs and the mushers maybe not be as agreeable to interacting with people at that point as they're getting ready. But that's another great time where you can really see how excited these dogs are to do what they love, and that's run and pull. And you can watch them go down the start chute there right at Billy's, and then follow the trackers on our website, and then you can go to different road crossings throughout the trail.
Jason, got to ask about the mittens.
Okay. So Erin Letzring actually made these. My lovely wife had her, she had secretly arranged for Erin to make me special mitts for my marathon run, because that was in the middle, this was in 2019, we were in the middle of the polar vortex. Oh, yeah. So when we finished, it was about 50 below roughly with wind chill in Grand Portage. These were made out of furs that she sourced in Alaska, and they're actually big enough that you can wear another pair of mitts or choppers underneath. And with the way the temperature was, I was really, really, really thankful for these. So yeah, they're you don't want to bring them around your dogs because they are made from real fur, and the dogs do want to nibble on them. Yes.
And they kept you warm?
They did. 54 below. I really felt sorry for the handling crews and like the volunteers, people who are standing around waiting for us to come through. That was a much more bitter, unforgiving place to be than on the sled, because on the sled, I'm working up body temperature running up the hill with the dogs, and then I'd coast for a little bit, and then I've got another hill to run up. So I was battling having to take my jacket off put it back on, take it off, because the idea is you don't want to sweat. If you break a sweat, you're not going to dry off till you get to the next checkpoint, and that could be 2-3 hours away.
All right, well, I'll break a sweat if we don't get out of here in time, but
right.
good luck to both of you with the race. Thanks for coming in and sharing some information about it. And real quick, the time of the start.
10 a.m. at Billy's.
10
We'll
a.m.
be
at
our first team
Billy's.
out to shoot. Yes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.